Hey Collective, welcome to Copper Visions. My name's Antonio if you're new. If you're not, welcome back. I wanted to start this reading off with an angel card because all I was hearing was show them their angels. And so if you resonate with angels or angel numbers in general, or are starting to see more than you have previously, then this message, there's something in here for you. So just trust that. And also don't force anything to fit. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. So, Orion. Orion is the card that I pulled, and I want to read it here. Your life and future are in your hands. You are a powerful manifester with the ability to call in and create the life of your dreams. What you focus on with unwavering faith is what you will experience. Focus your energy not only on what you want, but on feeling the way you want to feel. For the feelings are what will bring you the safety and connection you desire. I am the visionary of my future is the activation affirmation. You are the visionary of your future. That is why Copper Visions exists. So that you can bring your vision into form. So that you can feel the greatness that you are. Sometimes we lose our ability to connect with the channel that is spirit within us. And there's this feeling that I'm connecting with now that's very reverent and very direct at the same time. I'm almost getting Hierophant energy, but let's see what comes out in the cards before I continue. All right, Spirit, what do you have for Collective today? What do they need to know? Oh, Ace of Wands. There's a whole wave of inspiration heading your way. If not right now in this moment, you are tuning into a frequency that at its core, the core of the frequency. Is there a core of a frequency or is there just a frequency? Okay, so there's something that has been distracting you from moving forward on your inspiration, from moving forward with your excitement that you have experienced. Maybe there was something in a song that you felt. Maybe there was something someone said that really connected with you on a deep level. What was that, Spirit? Let me see. Actually, I feel like the cards are ready. I just need to shuffle them one more time. Orion, though. When was the last time you looked up at the stars? Also, noticing Orion. For me, I always felt like Orion was always there. Even though the constellations, depending on time of year it changes where they are. So I actually don't know where Orion is right now in relation to the Earth. But, and I just pulled this Ace of Cups. And what's interesting is that you have two aces here. You're getting ready for something. Ooh, okay, well, it's showing the Eight of Cups, you were walking away from something. And damn, do you look good walking away. They hate to see you leave, but they love to watch you walk away. That's what I'm getting. Oh man. So what did you, okay, so this is you, this has to do with something where you, the Empress, you chose to see your worth, to see your value, and you got your things and you left. I mean, you acknowledging your own, even if this is just very metaphorically speaking, if you felt like you had reached a completion with something and it was because of perhaps all of these negative thoughts or beliefs that were telling you were stuck or you had to stay in something so that you can, reach your final destination of success because of something, or maybe a person or a contract that told you that this was your only way to be successful. It feels like you walked away from something big is what it feels like. And so for now, let's see what you're moving towards. Oh, okay. So you might actually feel like, yes, your future is in your hands. And for some reason, there's this kind of this old familiar thought of scarcity, or this old familiar sensation of, last time the future was in my hands, I did something with it, but it didn't feel like it really took off, or something, there's some type of distracting noise that I think is connected to mainstream thinking. And let's say, because this is what I'm getting now, is that you're walking away from mainstream thinking. You're walking away from moving with a crowd, and you're going perhaps against the grain and doing something that you really feel you are called to do. And since you're here and this is the confirmation, it most definitely has to do with your relationship with Spirit. So temperance wanted to come out without me even moving. I didn't even shuffle. It almost, the way that my hand hit, it was like, hey, this is the divine saying, hey, I'm right here. I'm right here with you, and we are about to pop off. You are so supported. And I'm seeing this relationship between the sun and the moon. Actually, this is a message wanting to come through. I'm not sure what it is that's significant about this, but I actually just watched the movie Moonfall, and I didn't even know it existed, but it has Halle Berry and another great actor. Honestly, I just whether you have that opinion or not, it doesn't matter. But but the moon turned out to be this mega structure, which meant that it had its own power source. And there's this whole ancient understanding of where humans actually originated, or how far we really went back. And moons were basically sent to orbit but also create the earth. So it almost gave the moon this status of, oh wow, the earth actually wouldn't have really come into full form unless there was something orbiting like the moon. So the moon is playing a really significant role in your awareness right now, or it could be if you paid attention. Okay. Wow, and you're just walking towards the sun. That's all I see, walking towards the sun. Yeah, with this 8 of Cups, you see how she's just walking towards the sun. And it's funny because you could argue, if you were close enough to a fire, you could say that, oh wow, yeah, it's very bright, but you know that the sun is even brighter. And even if there's something that was working, or that was like quite a good opportunity, you're still in this Empress awareness that, you know what, there actually is better for me, and I'm going to make my way toward it. Wow. And what is that? The 10 of Cups with death. They wanted to come out together. This is you seeing your true fulfillment and satisfaction from an entirely different angle. And that was also coming through before I started this message, is that I almost wanted to move the camera to say, let's see this energy from a different angle. Yet I wasn't going to go against the true nature of the sun and, lighting in that sense. So something about integrating your shadow, though, also throughout this process. You're not afraid to face your fears. You're not afraid to face even humbling moments for your ego, because at the end of the day, if you wish to integrate your shadow, you are going to lean in, and you're going to not only make friends, but make use of the power, the true power that lies deep within. And I'm just going to leave that there, because that is your supportive energy, is this 10 of Cups with death, with transformation. Wow, okay. And it just keeps feeling important to shuffle and also to keep moving. So you're moving a lot. And I think, you're being encouraged to keep moving, to keep going, to express your boundaries. 7 of Wands, to express your boundaries, keep moving. This could be the challenge for you as well, to keep moving. You might be feeling sluggish, or you might be feeling like especially for summer where it's really hot, that it just kind of, you're a little too close to the sun, or getting a lot of sunlight, which is wonderful. Yet at the same time, there has to be a balance. So you might be feeling like you actually like to move in at in the nighttime, with the moon up, kind of lighting the way, but not in a way that's overpowering. So let's see where you're going, where you're really going. And I want to clarify this and come to a sense of resolution. I hope whatever you found here is helpful. There's many readers on YouTube. There's many opportunities to get in touch with yourself and the divine. And if this hasn't really resonated, if you haven't really resonated with me, if you've been here before, then there's no shame, no harm, no harm done. If you feel like, this doesn't resonate with me, I'm not really feeling this, totally cool. There's this energy that's speaking towards, well, this is spirit speaking toward you, saying, what really, really resonates with you, what really moves you. And that's the thing to go toward, regardless of if that's somewhere different, magician. Yeah, because it's your turn to create. It's your turn to bring into fruition this whole universe, this whole galaxy of your own making. Your vision, right? That's where you're going. That's where you're going. You're going somewhere where you can, and the lemniscat, the infinity symbol on top of the magician's head here. You are in touch with the divine in a way that is infinite, and you will always have that connection. Earlier I talked about how sometimes people forget, or sometimes we forget when we're distracted, or we are told that we're supposed to live in this reality that everyone else is living in, so that it's collectively true. And that couldn't be more detrimental to your ability to create something totally mirroring your true essence, your true greatness. And the Eight of Wands fell to the floor. To clarify the magician, you are inspired, to say the least. Okay, what else? Three of Wands. To keep moving. Breathing, evaluating where you are, and and you see how she's, it looks like she's at a standstill here, but actually if you look closer, she's picking up one of her feet and she's walking forward. So there's something to do with the speed of things, with the pace, because this Eight of Wands with the Three of Wands, what is it about the pace? Hermit. Okay, so you might be feeling, you're not sure if you've been taking too much time away from this thing, or yourself, because you've been resting, or you've been needing rest, more rest. And that's okay. I think, it feels truly like you are worried about resting, because then you feel like you're not enacting this greater sense of, well, here's what it is that we feel like we have our own plan, and then Spirit has an actual plan. And the more we move toward our highest excitement is the plan that Spirit has for us. And so sometimes we get caught up in the mundane, and we think, okay, I have to be more practical or logical in this way. And you know what I'm thinking of right now, what's coming through is Bashar, if you're familiar with, or Daniel Inca. Bashar speaks about how possible it is to live your dream life and being provided for you in a way that you couldn't have seen coming. I mean, for example, there was this woman who got to travel the world and do what she loved as a photographer, and it was all paid for. She didn't have to spend a dime. So in this regard of, am I going to be backed up financially enough? Am I going to have enough to make it happen? Yes. You're going to attract what you need when you need it. And that's what Spirit wants you to know. So take as much time as you need, because you are divinely guided. And you'll know what to do and when to do it. You understand effort leads to success when it's guided. And this card of prayer answered wanted to come out. Buffalo, yes, you might feel like you're using all of your resources, right? Like when, for example, Native Americans would hunt buffalo, they would use the entire buffalo. They would use the entire thing, and they would be grateful to the buffalo. They would honor the life, right? And they would see it as a blessing, as something to be very grateful for. And I'm not actually sure what this thing on the top is. A bee. There's a bee inside of a heart. So something about you being a light to others as well in your community. I mean, anyone who finds their way here is that for their community. Yeah. And just more metamorphosis. You're changing more than you know. Yeah, okay, action leads to success. Number 1. Again, the magician energy with this number 1. Okay, so perhaps you will experience some type of revelation when you actually allow yourself to rest, or you actually allow yourself to meditate in the quiet, to let things not only process, but actually settle, so that you can actually hear what Spirit is trying to share with you. And if you're not sure, ask for confirmation. I think there's some of you here who feel like a novice or new to this type of work. But then there are some of you who have been doing this work for a very, very long time, and you know exactly what I'm talking about in regard to synchronicities lining up in the moment as confirmation. You being on a certain path or a certain trajectory, and you have a little bit of a doubt, or you have a little bit of worry, and then there you see it. The exact thing that and you only know, that Spirit would be able to tell you, and no one else would really understand. But it's because it's for you, Yeah. So, Elohim. And there's something to do with payment too, because the back of this card reads, karmic debts are paid. Release yourself from the pain of guilt. Your debts are paid. Who you were in the past is not who you are today. If you had known then what you know now, you would have made different choices, but you cannot change what has happened. You can only change how you move forward. Release yourself from the past. And this affirmation activation is, I take responsibility for my own karma. And that is what you are doing as the magician. So, no guilt. You are free from judgment, and you are free to love. Who you are may be a mystery to some. What else? But that's part of your unfolding. It says moonbow as well, just to confirm the whole significance of the moon. Shadows, truth, and surprise. You're going to surprise yourself. So long as you keep moving forward on your highest excitement, truly. And if you feel like you don't know what that is, then what, Spirit? Broken specter, mystery, illusion, magnification. It seems like you just need to take a time out. If you feel like you don't know what that is, or if you feel frustrated or upset about anything, it's because you need to rest. You need to take a nap. And you see this rainbow is actually almost a full circle, or it should be, right? So rest and allow allow the rainbow to fully circle. And then you will see things as clearly as you do under the moonlight, but in the sun. It's just so interesting. Yeah. It feels like this message wants to keep going, and I do want to bring it to a sound, resolute place. And so that's the thing. That's the thing, is that Spirit just wants you to keep moving. So I'm going to end it there. I'm going to thank you for spending time here, for being here. And if any of this resonated, please leave a heart or comment, like, and even subscribe to see where we go next. Truly, my love and appreciation to you always. Thanks, Collective.